All right, let's talk about something that costs businesses a fortune: getting stuck fixing the same problems over and over and over again. Today, we're going to dive into a discipline called root cause corrective action and show you how it can shift your team from just fighting fires to actually preventing them from ever starting. So let me ask you, does this feel a little too familiar? That feeling of déjà vu at work? Another quality issue? Another snag in operations? You feel like you just put out a fire, and then you turn around and see smoke coming from the exact same spot. Well, that frustrating, expensive cycle is exactly what we're here to break. For good.
This isn't just bad luck. It's a pattern, a predictable and really expensive pattern that we call the cycle of failure. And the good news? Once you can actually see how this cycle works, you have all the power you need to break it. So let's take a look at what's really happening.
I really like this slide because it just nails the illusion of progress. On the surface, you see all this activity, right? Meetings, emails, people running around. It looks like everything's being handled. But deep down, the real cause of the problem is just sitting there, waiting to flare up all over again. That, my friends, is firefighting, not problem solving.
So, to break that cycle, we have to become, well, kind of like organizational archaeologists. We have to learn how to dig past what's obvious on the surface, because as you're about to see, every single failure has different layers, and most teams only ever scratch the surface.
And check this out. This lays it all out perfectly. Up at the top, you've got the symptom. That's the obvious defect you see. The typical action is just containment, which gives you guessed it, a temporary result. Go a little deeper and you find the problem itself. A correction here gives you a short-term fix. But the real goal, the foundation, is the root cause. That's the system issue, and the only way to get a permanent result is to attack it with prevention.
Let's make this super concrete. You see a bad part, you could just throw it away, which is basically throwing money right in the garbage. That's a symptom-level fix. Or you could do a little better and just warn the operator. But that's weak, right? It relies on human memory. The truly effective, profitable response, you change the system so the mistake can't even be made. That's a permanent root cause solution. And this chart, wow, this chart tells the whole story. Look at this. Just reacting to a problem, 0% effective. You are guaranteed to see that problem again. A correction, like reminding someone, maybe 30% effective if you're lucky. It's just a band-aid. But a true systemic prevention, that's 100% effective. And that's the only number that really matters.
So getting to that 100%, well, it's not just about using some new tool. It takes a really profound shift in mindset across your whole organization. It's about fundamentally changing how you even think about problems in the first place.
First things first, we have to stop obsessing over the broken part. That defective product, it isn't the problem. It's just the evidence. It's the clue that tells you that you need to start digging deeper.
Okay, second, and this is maybe the most important part of all, you must stop the blame game. The second you point a finger at a person, you've lost. You'll never find the real root cause. A blame culture doesn't find solutions. It just creates fear and encourages people to hide problems. It is always about fixing the system. You have to stop asking who messed up and start asking a much more powerful question. What in our system allowed this to happen? That question right there is the key that unlocks everything. So how do you actually find these hidden weaknesses in your system? Well, it's not about guessing or sitting in endless meetings. It's about using structured analytical tools that guide your investigation right to the source of the problem.
One of the most powerful tools is the 5 why analysis. It's so simple, it's brilliant. You just keep asking why, like a curious kid. Each why pulls back another layer, taking you from the obvious symptom straight down to the systemic cause.
For more complicated issues, a fishbone diagram is a fantastic tool. It's a great way to get a whole team together to brainstorm and visually map out every single potential cause. You make sure no stone is left unturned.
And you know what these tools almost always find? It's rarely some huge surprise. It's usually one of these classic culprits. There was no standard, the process controls were weak, the training was bad, or maybe the KPIs were actually encouraging the wrong behavior. These are the real reasons things fail.
Now, finding the root cause is half the battle, but the other half is implementing a corrective action that actually works and sticks. This is about moving from just analyzing to creating real, lasting change.
Let's look at a classic weak action versus a strong one. The weak action, retrain operator. We see this all the time. It's kind of lazy, it depends on one person, and it almost never works. The strong systemic fix? Implement mandatory certification before machine handling. See the difference? One is just a wish, the other is a firewall built right into the system.
A high-quality corrective action isn't some vague suggestion, it's a contract. It has to have a clear description of the action, a single owner, a firm deadline, a way to control it, and a method to prove that it actually worked. Anything less than that isn't a plan, it's just wishful thinking.
Ultimately, this is about so much more than just fixing technical problems. It's about upgrading your organization's entire culture. When you shift from a blame culture to system thinking, you stop wasting energy on politics and start focusing that energy on building unbeatable processes.
And let's be really clear about the goal here. This isn't about being a little bit better. The goal is 100% effectiveness. The goal is to design solutions so good that the problem isn't just fixed, it's erased from the future.
So, I'll leave you with this last thought. Think about those issues that keep popping up where you work. What's the true cost? In rework, in wasted time, in customer trust, in team morale. Now just imagine erasing that cost for good. That's the power of moving from problem to prevention.